Daily trading recap. It is Thursday, the 19th of May, 2022. To Christ be the glory. Dollar volume first before anything else. NASDAQ, $262 billion volume as of 3 hours, 24 minutes after the close here. NYSE, $366 billion volume. OTC markets, $2.1 billion volume on the day. Again, keeping the same shit, different day. Futures, automated strategies, the small scalpy upside profit target working well for the session-wide strategy, as well as the downside larger profit target seeking strategy on the ES full session-wide scope there, and also the 930 strategy working out well for the parameters that I had set on that opening price there. All three of those ones that I've kind of been hammering hard as of the current backtesting data is saying for me, all working out well today, all winners today. Tried to play a few MES contracts just for some little potential. I thought if today was going to be more of a trend day, hard to say that it would be a trend day after the incredibly hard day that was yesterday, like a 4%. Hearing in the news, actually, one of the hardest days since the 2020 drop on the overall Dow, just the overall market there. Absolutely crazy to think of that. Of course, you can see it back then, but back to today tried to play a little for what I thought how well I thought we were rising. Just said, hey, we could just continue to start ramping here and collect a few more cheap shorts that are just a little bit too unwilling to relent as of right now and maybe scalp them out just a little bit. That's just totally, trading the index and trading the overall market is just such shooting in a barrel at times. So I took one MES contract, trying to play it along there and worked pretty nicely up to 10 points, I think, and then sure enough, it came back down and kind of wrecked me. So those are the times I'm like, gosh, I should be doing these trades with two MES contracts at least, of just giving myself that 10-point a move parameter, $10 a point move parameter, because giving me that opportunity to take at least some profits at what is decent moves there, because that would have been a little $50 win to add to boost to the gains today too. So that I just gave back up entirely as it just started to wreck and go green from that, or go red from that opening price there. But sure enough, find a little bottom, recover, come back to VWAP. And here was another area that I tried to short into with one MES contract of thinking we were going to find some resistance potentially here at VWAP, and looking like we were running into some exhaustion of buying pressure on the tick overall around this time frame. Let's see if we can find that here quick. Just around, I forget the time frame that was, around that 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock time frame. Back to the tick. Tickety tick, 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 tickety tick, 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 tick. As we were getting here, looking like we were kind of exhausting or getting close to that $600 parameter mark of the upside of total buying pressure, which sometimes can indicate, okay, hey, we're kind of exhausting here. So then applying that to what this chart was saying of this could be just a little tiny turning point. And sure enough, it did exactly that. But I got stopped out. I was just not a part of it. I think I tried a little bit too much into the rising knife action of this still, of a little bit too much on the front side on one contract, and then I did actually size in again with another contract on this one, as we just peaked above VWAP, and then sure enough, this next candle just kept going to the upside there and cut it off, and it had a few more points behind that, but sure enough, that was the top of that move, and it fell down pretty hard after that, and that was the exact move I was looking for. And yeah, maybe I definitely would have been covering one. That's, again, like what I mentioned, the two MES contracts that are probably more beneficial to take that little tiny kind of strategy and plays within the first hour, the post 15 minutes of market open, and then still within that first hour of market open, kind of plays for that, of just trying to set myself up to see if I can just kind of sit in a cool position and then let it do whatever it wants to do for the rest of the day, and not just trying to press it so hard for each and every individual point scale. But that's trading, and certainly trading the indexes offers quite the head-scratching opportunities like that one on the day. So those were two little tiny scalping losers. But no equity trades again for me on the day. There's some trades, some charts that I can look at the end of the day and say, okay, I could potentially have seen myself doing something like that if I was involved with it, preparing for it the previous day, or just doing more work on it than I really want to right now. But even at that, of like just how infrequent those are between each weekday here, it's not worthwhile for me to just continue to bang my head against it for these summer months, at least. For the meantime, I just think this palate cleansing, and even with these little SPY trades too, I don't want to be forcing them so hard. It's not like I'm forcing them, but it's just not trying to play them each and every single day, but just saying, hey, it's got to be an overwhelming smash your face into opportunity that's just blasting me in the face that makes me get into a trade like any of these that I was taking here, versus the just trying to get in and out little tiny scalps and convincing myself because, oh, it's an MES contract, it's only $5 a point, and blah, 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 all these little tiny lies of, that's the same lie I fell into with these small cap trades of, oh, because I'm taking a small size, it's only a $100 size, and I can still take a 10% loss, and it's only $10, right? It's just a paper cut, it's just a tiny little thing. But that wasn't building good habits within me. That wasn't making me a better trader, and it certainly wasn't establishing a good foundation for me to trade off of with bigger money. So the same thing with these ones. I'm not going to try to get too attached with the FOMO aspect of it, of like really kind of how that first trade was of, oh shoot, I think we could kind of go and have a big nice green day today, of seeing it produce a lot of green within that first 10 minutes of market open and say, God, I want to be a part of it, I don't want to miss it, and then getting one contract, and then sure enough it just kind of rolls over and dies. It just smacks me out of huge profit to that way, but I don't want to be a part of that, and I don't want to build that. I don't want to have gotten myself out of that with the small cappers by just kind of like restricting myself, handcuffing myself from doing it, and refreshing my brain in order to not do that and see the mistakes I was making. I don't want to dig myself out of that hole and then just dig myself back into it with these MES contracts here, trying to play it on the index because it's something different and it's just a different instrument. But it's still the same thing in essence, if you know what I mean. But yeah, just continuing on day by day. We're continuing the same strategies for tomorrow. They're still producing the same results as of right now. I really, really enjoy and kind of changing my philosophy that way as I look at that backtested data that I have on these Excel spreadsheets of comparing the time frames on them of that 20-day, 50-day, 100-day averages of these to see, okay, this 100-day average says that this opportunity produces, X amount of potential net income after 100 trades, whatever it is. But, the 20-day is really saying that's not as feasible. So, we're not going to push it so hard with multiple ES contracts, but we could still maybe take one ES contract or maybe even just take 2, 3, 4, 5 MES contracts on that one. But if all three are lining up, then it's all Boris go. We're pushing it as hard as we can with as much margin as we can to say, hey, this strategy is working. Let's push it as long as we can. Versus something I'm seeing now of we could see a little flip here potentially for that 930 strategy of it could be, instead of me looking to the upside, it could be me looking to the downside. It's still playing out and finding itself in that 20-day average of these past few trading days to see if there is any legitimacy to that. But that is what I love so much about this little perspective changes that I had, is it's not about just me forcing a profit target on the market. It's me forcing adjusting to the market. That's what it is in essence of, I'm not so hard on like, oh, it has to be long moves. It has to be buying MES contracts. No, it can be going short. It can be going long for much smaller. It can be going short for much bigger. It can be anything and everything that the market is currently saying that it wants to be. So that's everything that I'm following for, and not trying to just play off of any of my own biases or dollar volume or dollar just P&L wise that I'm seeking through that. It's just, hey, if there's opportunity here, then let's play it and let's go with it. And I'm not trying to get a certain income or salary each day from that. I'm just saying, hey, let's play the opportunity. If there's opportunity there, let's go hard after it. And so definitely love that strategy and mindset that way, and kind of shifting myself to that is found myself a little bit of a niche and groove in that. So we'll see if it continues to play out, if these strategies continue to hold. It's obviously, who knows what the days ahead hold. And that's just what this strategy is. And it's kind of giving myself over to the markets to say, you have these contracts, especially with the ES full session-wide contracts, as we saw on Tuesday. It can be hard, incredibly hard, losing days when they don't work, but to keep that overall perspective in mind that it isn't just about one trade, even though I close it out within the day. It's not about that one trade or one day. It is the collective group of those multiple days, multiple weeks, multiple months of trades that adds up to the playing out of this type of strategy that way. So continuing on with that, and sincerely thankful for each and every opportunity to not wear pants. It's just incredible. I tell you what, especially in the summer heat, it's just the world. But that's all I had today. I sincerely thank you guys for watching. We will catch you guys on the next one.